What's up, guys? My name's Christian, and this is my college car.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to say goodbye to an old friend, one that left us all too soon. She had just entered into her teenage years, and I cannot imagine how difficult it must be for the parent to lose its child. You gave us joy, and for that, we are forever grateful. Rest in peace, Scion. Welcome, Internet, to this episode of College Cars. This time, I will be giving a eulogy to a brand that never quite fit in, as well as talking about my friend Christian's car, a 2009 Scion TC. Christian bought this car in high school because it had what he wanted: sporty looks and a good sound system. Score 1 for Scion's intended market. He says the gas mileage isn't that great, but I know that has as much to do with his driving style as it does anything else. I can't say I blame him though, because the Scion TC sounds pretty good for a little four-banger. The TC was a car that could have benefited from straying from Scion's policy of only offering one trim level for each car. In my opinion, it could have been a competitor to the Civic Si with a few options. Is it a stretch? Not really. Both cars are more performance-oriented than their bland, malaise, econo-boxed relatives. The TC is based on Toyota's new MC platform, which it shares with the Toyota Corolla, Prius, RAV4, and some other cars I've never heard of. The Si is obviously based on the Civic. The TC was, in my opinion, much better to look at than the Civic. It actually stands out in a crowd without a fart can muffler. It had so much potential. Power numbers slotted right in between lower trim Civics and the Si of its day. The TC's 2.4-liter 2AZ-FE four-cylinder put out 161 horsepower and 162 pound-feet of torque. The same generation Civic base model only made 140 horsepower and a puny 128 pound-feet. The Si has a decent edge in the horsepower department, churning out 197 with 2 liters of VTEC wizardry. But torque is lacking in the little Honda. The Si at the same time only cranked out 139 pound-feet. 0 to 60 times for the Si are better, 6.7 seconds versus 7.4 in the TC. Curb weight was pretty close, with both cars coming in between 2,800 and 3,000 pounds. What I'm trying to say here is Toyota could have had a respectable performance car in its hands with the TC. Bring on the hate. I'm ready. Maybe the TC wasn't meant to compete with the Civic, but it could have. Maybe Toyota decided to play it safe and ride the sales wave the Corolla and Camry provided them, instead of taking a risk on making a high-performance TC. But they could have. Maybe enthusiast buyers stuck with the old favorite instead of trying something new. Same thing just happened with the Evo and the WRX. Maybe he got too late of a start. The Si had been around since the mid-80s. And Scion as a brand had only existed since 2003. Speculation aside, the automotive world must say goodbye to another family member. While a few former Scions will live on, like the FRS, the TC is no more. Personally, I was hoping to see Toyota create a Corolla Coupe or something similar to replace it, but it does not appear that's going to happen. Christian's dream car is an Audi, he said, but he couldn't remember the exact model. I'm going to think for him and say it's the R8, because the R8 is awesome. He also says he'd like to get an SUV of some kind, maybe a 4Runner, to haul his music and video equipment with, because unlike myself, he likes to take this sort of stuff seriously. Well, that's that. We must say goodbye to another car brand too soon. Get out there and buy the cool cars before another brand has to go to the way of Scion. Thanks for watching.